Did you know we're exactly 1 month away from the NHL trade deadline, and teams need goalies for the stretch run? That's why we brought in our resident goalie, Martin Biron, to talk about potential available goalies. I say potential, Marty, because Minnesota's playoff hopes are dwindling at this point. Billy Guerin, their GM, might be very busy over the next coming weeks, but do you think that it'll be Marc-André Fleury on the move before the deadline?
It's all in the hands of Marc-André Fleury, to be honest with you, Jay. Listen, Marc-André Fleury would want to be a number one goaltender somewhere, getting a chance to perform in the playoffs again. I don't think that his performances and the way that he's played this year would give him that opportunity. He's got an .897 save percentage. It's way below the .904, .905 average around the National Hockey League. And there's not a lot of teams that would say, hey, listen, we need goalie help, and let's go get Marc-André Fleury to be that number one goaltender, the guy that's going to win us a cup. Now, he can be an insurance policy, a backup, maybe help you down the road, and if there's an injury, he could get in there. But does Marc-André Fleury really want to move again and go somewhere just to be a backup in an insurance policy? I doubt that. Look, he may make the call in the end, and he has a month to talk to his family and his agent and his friends to say, hey, if it was presented to me to go somewhere, would I take it? Like if it is a, Carolina Hurricanes that are saying, well, maybe Freddie Anderson comes back, so Marc-André, you'd be an insurance policy to Pyotr Kochetkov if Anderson doesn't come back, or if it's a Colorado with Georgiev. I think these options may be there, but Fleury in the end is going to make the call if he wants to move or not.
Marty, I want to talk about Montreal. It's been a three-headed monster all season. Sam Montembeault was the one who signed the extension, 3 years, just under $10 million. Yeah. Caden Primo is showing some promise, and it seems like, from the outside looking in, that Jake Allen is the odd man out potentially here. But, Marty, is there a playoff contender out there that you think could use a guy like Allen for the Stanley Cup run?
Well, for me, the only team that I could see using Jake Allen for a Stanley Cup run is not as a number one goaltender. Again, it's more of as an insurance policy, and it is the Colorado Avalanche. Georgiev has played a ton of minutes, most minutes in the National Hockey League, most games started in the National Hockey League, and you're going to wear him into the ground if you keep playing him like that. And Colorado has a legitimate chance to go out and win another cup, in a few years. So I think you got to give Georgiev a break. And not only would getting Jake Allen in Colorado help this season, it would also help next year because Jake Allen has one more year left at just under $4 million. And Colorado doesn't really have that solid backup goaltender going into next season either. So I understand that Colorado doesn't have the cap space right now to get a goaltender as an insurance policy that's just under $4 million. But maybe Montreal can retain this season and next season, obviously, to make that trade happen. 3 goalies for a whole season, it's no good. That should have already been taken care of before the Christmas break in early December. It wasn't done. Now you got to do something, and maybe you have to retain some salary to make it happen. But I would think that Georgiev would need a solid backup, and Jake Allen could be that backup with the Colorado Avalanche.
And finally, Marty, I want to ask you about John Gibson. Boy, this is a guy whose name has been out there forever, but he's got term on his deal. He carries a big ticket, and his play has dropped off this season. Do you think Pat Verbeek, the Anaheim Ducks GM, will be able to find a spot for Gibson? And I know a lot of people have been saying New Jersey is a potential landing spot. Do you like that idea?
I think there's a lot of goaltenders that are looking around and saying New Jersey could be a landing spot. But you mentioned John Gibson. You say his play has dropped off this season. I think his play has been dropping off since 2018, 2019. This was the last time that John Gibson had a really good save percentage above league average in the .915 range. Every year since then, it's been .902, .903, .899. I mean, this is not the John Gibson that we know was a just standout type of goaltender with the Anaheim Ducks. And then on top of it, you have 3 years left at $6.4 million. I mean, teams that are going to look at John Gibson, number one, they're going to have to ask Anaheim, say, retain some salary. Number two, we're not giving you much to get John Gibson out of your hand. We're actually doing you a favor, Anaheim, to take on that contract for 3 more years at $6.4 million. I look at Jacob Markstrom, 2 more years at $6 million. Which one would you take, right? If you are a team looking for a goaltender, I would definitely look at Jacob Markstrom, who's only making $6 million for 2 more years as opposed to 6.4 for 3 with Gibson. And the performances are not even comparable. So That, for me, is going to be a tough go for Pat Verbeek and John Gibson if, in fact, he is on the market and gets traded before the deadline.
Well, we're hoping maybe Pat Verbeek is such a tough negotiator, and apparently he is, Marty. Maybe he's a tough negotiator. He'll just wait until trade deadline day, because I know you're working Trade Center, and we could really use some actual trades. That is Friday, March the 8th. So Marty's going to join us for that, but he's been great to join us on the show today. Thanks, buddy. We appreciate it.
Thank you.